is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Sean Bailey Fit channel. As always, it is great to see you back for another video. Have you ever stopped to think about why you may struggle to meet your health and fitness goals? Or even how you should be eating healthier? Or even how much money you've been spending on eating out each week? If so, that is why I'm guessing you are here today, because I am going to help teach you how to meal prep like a pro. I've heard a lot of people talking about how meal prepping sounds like such a great idea, but they say they either don't have the time or they just flat out don't know how to cook. But let me tell you, meal prepping is going to save you a ton of time throughout the week. And in regards to the cook part, believe me, I used to be strictly a fast food and microwave type of person. So if I can turn it around, believe me, so can you. Anybody can learn how to meal prep. Just like anything, it may take a little bit of trial and error, but once you get it down, you will be making yourself some great meals that are gonna save you that time and save you some money. Now with meal prep, even though we are shortening up that last word, one of the very key and defining parts of meal prep is preparation. I'm just gonna give you 5 simple steps in order to become a pro. And step number 1, I like to call day and store. Now that just stands for you figuring out what days you're gonna find time to cook and exactly how are you going to store your meals once you cook them. In terms of days, that just means you have to determine what works best for you and your schedule. Now, I personally like to split my week up into 2 days of cooking so that I do mine on Sundays and typically on Wednesdays depending on my week. But I like to do that so that my meals are a little bit more fresh when I do eat them, and I have to spend just a little bit less time each one of those days I'm cooking on making all of those meals. And in terms of storing, it's pretty simple. How exactly are you going to store these meals once you cook them? Because once you do, you got to put them in your fridge or your freezer or wherever you put them, and they are going to take up some space, so you have to find out what is the best way for you to put them in containers. It may not seem like a big deal, but the storage is probably one of the most important parts because you are going to be storing, carrying, cleaning, and holding on to these containers throughout the week. So make sure that you find some very good and very sturdy containers so that you can make sure everything is just as easy as possible. And even more importantly, these containers are also going to help control your portion size. So be sure to choose wisely. Moving on to step number 2, what I like to call find your base. Now this is just being able to determine what are your primary macros. You remember my video on counting macros, right? If not, be sure to go back and check out that video. I like to consider my macros the same way some people might consider shoes going along with their outfits. And I don't mean those of you with huge shoe collections where you have a ton of pair that you don't even wear. I'm talking shopping on a budget shoe collection. You know, when you have maybe about 3, maybe 4 different pairs of shoes that you mix and match with all different kinds of outfits. The same goes for macros. You find a few different proteins, carbs, or fats that fit into your nutrition goals, and then you find different recipes and meals that you can mix and match each of those into. That way, your meals don't get as old as fast and you keep new, fresh ideas in your head. And once one of those meals or your rotation starts to get old, you can just mix and match different recipes in so that things continue to stay fresh in your head. Just as an example, I like chicken and ground turkey for my proteins and potatoes and rice for my carbs. So typically each one of my meals is gonna have at least one of those in it, but I do mix and match and change the different recipes around so that it doesn't seem like I'm eating the same things all the time. And once you find your base, you can find different veggies and sides to add in to make sure you are keeping those meals different as well. And this is gonna help to create a perfect rotation for your meal prep. Step number 3 is shopping. And this is where we really start to find out a lot about ourselves and the amount of discipline that we have. So you now know exactly when you're gonna cook, you know how you're gonna store your meals, and you have your recipes ready. But the main important part of shopping is stick to the list. Like I said before, meal prep is all about preparation. So after you've gone ahead and organized and got all of this stuff ready to go, once you get to the store, as long as you are still staying in line with those other steps, this part should be a breeze as long as you don't start adding those extra snacks and junk food into your cart while you're shopping. If you really took the time to get preparation going and find out what meals you want to make and how you're going to do this, you really were in the right state of mind, so don't lose track of that once you get to the store. Now that we have toughed through that shopping and have all the food, we are on to step number 4, and that is cook. This is where all the preparation is done and over with, and it is time for us to make that food. This is definitely one of the best parts because you can now get all that other thinking and everything out of the way and just really go to work on making the food. You can just throw on some music or listen to podcasts or whatever you need to do and just really get all of your meals ready to go. And of course, you can finally celebrate yourself becoming a new chef. Just a little insider tip, fall in love with Ziploc bags and aluminum foil. These can go a long way in saving you some more time throughout the week because it will come out to less time spending cleaning dishes. This is also a time when you can go ahead and listen to some self-improvement podcasts or different things like that. So not only are you getting your meals ready for the week, you are also looking on self-improvement. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now you are finished cooking and all of those meals are stored and ready to go. And that means one less thing that you have to worry about throughout the rest of the week. But that means we are on to our 5th and final step, and that I like to call evaluate. And I don't mean evaluate your food and yourself as a chef. I mean that more as evaluate your week and how it pertained to your goals. If you wanted to start meal prepping, you obviously had some sort of goal or idea in mind. Now, whether that was just saving money, saving time, whether it was fitness or nutrition or just what other goal it could have been, just really evaluate and see how that week really helped you progress towards that goal. If it really did help you progress in the way that you thought it would, then great. Definitely keep it up and keep things going. But if for some reason it did not, that doesn't mean it's time to give up on it. You just have to sit there and really realize that you are learning from what went wrong, and now you can fix it to make progress. As I said before, meal prep is about trial and error. So you may have some times where things just didn't work out the way you planned, but you just have to fix it, learn from it, and be able to progress so that you can get better the next time. Really just take some time to make sure the foods that you are meal prepping for are actually making progress towards those specific goals you had in mind. And that was what I mean by evaluate. So please remember those easy 5 steps. Day and store, find your base, shop, cook, and evaluate. With these 5 steps, you will be a new chef before you know it. And of course, if you would like to know more on meal prepping or different recipes, feel free to comment below or reach out to me directly, and I'd be happy to help you get started on your meal prep. And as usual, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Also see me on my Instagram page at Sean Bailey Fit, where I will be showing you a lot more on personally what I like to meal prep and work into my fitness journey. Be sure to let me know if you have any questions, and of course, I will be seeing you in the next video.